What up, y'all? Your boy Brick Street Sprite in the building, man. Like, subscribe, comment. Brick Street Hooligans, Brick Street Media, Hooli Vision. And I was just watching Crucial 13. It's his birthday. Shout out Crucial 13. Um, that's the homie. Um, but he had Your Honor on. This just happened, literally. And they were talking to Your Honor about a whole bunch of a whole lot of different things. He was addressing his URL contract. He was addressing why URL has certain artists, because they don't have everybody sign these contracts. They don't have the more established, you know, the more established veteran top tier battle rappers sign these contracts, but they have like the lower tier dudes for the most part, or the dudes that they are coming up, or the dudes that are that are that are less established, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? And he said a few things that I just I agree with some of what he said, but I don't agree with some other things that he said. Um, the one thing I will say about Your Honor is that I uh, I appreciate a lot of his honesty, and at least he's honest about his opinion, and at least he will speak. I don't know how. Let me rephrase that. Like I don't know him personally, so I don't know exactly how 100% honest he's being, but his willingness to speak on it, you know what I'm saying, is admirable to me. And he is a battle rapper that has his own style, his own flow. He's very talented. He's a super talented dude just in general. He can play the fucking piano, he can sing. This dude is a very talented dude. You know what I'm saying? Like he's I'm not here to discredit dude or his battle rap ability. I do think he has the ability and the talent to be fired. I just think that he needs to focus more on battle rap. You know what I'm saying? He 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 for whatever reason wasn't taking his craft seriously for a little while. Now in the dot, one of the last, I think was the dot battle, his last battle that we saw. I think that battle he finally got back to focus and back to getting his shit all the way prepared and tight. You know what I'm saying? Like he not like because there was a few battles there where he was really stumbling and bumbling and he just wasn't prepared, lack of preparation. You know what I'm saying? But um, I just wanted to give him, his proverbial flowers of as a talented person. You know what I'm saying? Like and he has a long way to go in battle rap to be considered somebody that's a legend or top tier. But I do think he has the talent to do that. But I don't agree with URL contracts for the most part. I think that it should be a battle to battle thing. Unless you're somebody like, because he said something that really caught my ear when he said the one thing people don't bring up is that a lot of these dudes want to be here and they want to sign the contracts, and I still blame Smack for some of that because, and I just think that they are, for lack of better terms, taking advantage of, like, an analogy I can make and a comparison I can make is how P Diddy did the Locks. You know what I mean? Like he knew they were some younger, eager dudes, probably never seen that much money in their life, so he gave them more money than they had seen, but a lot less money than they were actually worth. You know what I'm saying? And then took half of their publishing because he knew they were some eager dudes that would sign the contract without really talking it over too much and thinking about it too much. They just wanted to get on. And I think that that's a factor as far as Smack, when it comes to Smack being able to convince some of these dudes. My bad, my hair is all fucked up, but it is what it is. But when it comes to Smack getting convincing some of these guys to sign the contract, because he doesn't really need to do much convincing, because they already want to be on the URL. They're already eager to get out of whatever position or situation they're in. They want to make it big in battle rap, so they are eager to sign these contracts, and because of that, they don't really make necessarily the best decision. You know what I mean? Because they're not really thinking about like the big picture. They're thinking about right now. You know what I mean? this sounds like some sweet, at least it sounds like better than my situation is right now anyway, so I'm gonna sign it. And when really they could honestly probably do a lot better by not signing the contract and building their brand even more on other leagues. Make yourself a star through battle rap, through your own ability. RBE, King of the Dot, Gates of the Guard, whatever leagues you want to battle on. Make yourself a household name. I mean, as far as battle rap's concerned, in our niche in our small niche of the culture, you know what I'm saying? Our niche genre of the culture. And then URL is forced to fuck with you if they want to fuck with a top tier. You know, once you put yourself on that level, then you're not gonna have to sign a contract. They will rock with you like an ill will, like a bill collector on a on a battle to battle basis. You know what I'm saying? Like a Rum Nitty, like a Geechee Gotti. And another thing that he said was that URL has people sign these contracts because they are tired of their talent being snatched. You know what I'm saying? And I failed to really be able to come up with many examples of people being snatched from the URL or them developing like a whole lot of talent. Like a lot of their top talent was developed elsewhere. Like ADEP had a good example because Rum Nitty and Geechee Gotti weren't developed at URL. They were developed elsewhere on smaller leagues than on King of the Dot. You get what I'm saying? Then URL snatched them up. You know what I mean? URL snatches talent up the same way they are accusing and Your Honor is accusing other leagues of doing. They have been snatching talent up. They snatched talent from Lions Den, from Fight Club, from Grind Time, from everywhere. Think about a lot of the top dudes on URL. They started elsewhere. You can only name like Lux and Mook, you know what I'm saying? And Midwest Miles, X Factor, people like that. Maybe like a Shotgun Suge, like Arsenal's Grind Time, Hollow Grind Time. I'm just talking about that these dudes didn't even necessarily start on Grind Time, but they were there before URL. Like Hollow's a kind of a different, even a different case because he was on like 106 in Park, and you know what I'm saying, and he was even locked up for a little minute and developed his style in a bunch of different places, including prison. You know what I mean? Like he he had already been on like national TV and all of this shit. You know what I mean? Like, but he went through Grind Time. Conceited went through Grind Time. DNA went through Grind Time. Bro, Swave Seva went through Grind Time. Think about that shit. A lot of these dudes went through Grind Time or Fight Club. Think about the big names on the URL, bruh. Like, straight up. URL found them later in their career. Because if you really want to get technical, a lot of the real talent development and the artist development comes from the smaller leagues. You know what I'm saying? That end up putting these dudes on at first, and then they build their name and end up on a bigger league. These bigger leagues don't develop a whole lot of talent. Think of all the guys you've seen come through PG, and then you never see them again. They come and do one PG, and the PGs come through the PG system when they had the PG system, and you'll see the same thing with the Crucible. A bunch of new faces will come through, and you'll never see them again. At least not on URL. But if you really look into some of these dudes and research them, they've battled many times on other leagues. You know what I mean? Some of them haven't. I get that. But either way, a lot of them come through and you don't see them again. You know what I mean? But I just think, man, the URL has done the same thing to multiple leagues, to multiple dudes. A lot of their biggest talent has come from other leagues. You know what I'm saying? And another thing I wanted to say, like, bro, you can literally name bro, so many motherfuckers who have gotten busy with URL, you know what I'm saying? And who have done business with URL that came from other leagues first, that were in other leagues first, you know what I mean? Straight up. And, but, I mean, I named some of the bigger, but you can name a whole bunch, you know what I'm saying? A whole lot of motherfuckers, man. But another thing he said, and then another example I have is this. Like, think about RBE and the biggest dudes that are on their roster, like a Big K or a Rosenberg Raw. They weren't snatched from the URL. They were disgruntled, basically disgruntled employees. They were disgruntled with whatever their situation was, with the business or ethic practices that the business practices or the ethics that the URL was practicing. They were disgruntled. They weren't happy with their situation, so they went elsewhere. And then Adam, you know what I'm saying, ARP with RBE gave them whatever, must have provided them a better situation for a battler. You know what I'm saying? Must have provided a much more battler friendly environment and platform. And that's why they rock, because they've both been vocal about how they were disgruntled at the URL, especially Big K. Think about that shit. Look at Oops on the URL. He came from RBE. Like, dog, like, think about this shit, bro. Like, there's mad people that were developed elsewhere. You know what I mean? Like, dog. Like, I just don't think any of those arguments even fit. I think the URL is literally just doing that because they don't want RBE. They see RBE and King of the Dot as competition. They definitely do. And they just don't want them to get their big hands on their biggest battlers, even if it's just for one fucking battle, one contract. At least, so they're gonna tie anyone up that they can in a fucking exclusivity deal so that doesn't happen, because they don't want those smaller. RBE and King of the Dot are big platforms. That's the big three: King of the Dot, RBE, and URL. And RBE and King of the Dot still have YouTube drops, so they are actually giving people more exposure. The only people that fuck with the app are battle rap fanatics, dog, that would already have the app and already know about these battlers. You're not gaining exposure from that shit. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just think all the arguments are shitty. That's all. You know what I mean? I got love for Your Honor. I think he's a super talented dude, but he's obviously, making the argument from the side of a URL battle rapper, so he's trying to justify it in whatever way he can and just giving his opinions. I get that, and he said that he's just giving his opinions and his thoughts. He could be wrong, and I'm not crucifying him for that at all, but I'm just giving my thoughts. I got respect for the man. I'm just saying this is what I think. Now, and they were asking him a bunch of questions about Illuminati, stuff like that. He played a little ignorant, I feel like. I don't know that he's down with none of that. Who knows? But I do think he was playing a little dumb. Like, you don't know what Freemasonry is? Like, come on, bro. You know what the Illuminati is, but not Freemasonry? Okay. But I'm just saying, man. You know what I mean? But yeah, man. I just think they just don't want, they see these dudes as competition, you know what I mean? And they don't want whoever they can lock up in an exclusivity deal, they don't want going over to these other leagues because they see them as competition and they don't want them catching up, so to speak. You know what I mean? Which, if they were really that, like, that confident in the business and in the product they put out, then they shouldn't be that worried about that. Because RBE ain't trying to lock people up under contract. King of the Dot's not locking people. You can go battle wherever the fuck you want when you fuck with them. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. It just doesn't. I feel like Smack should show a little more love to the product. You know what I'm saying? That really makes his business and made him what he is. These battle rappers made Smack. Smack didn't make Smack. The battle rappers made URL. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what it is. Battlers made URL. And that's a fact. Like, you can't even argue that. Without the battlers, Smack ain't nothing but a good idea and a promoter. How does that skit go with on Immortal Technique shit? It's who also was a battle rapper, Battle Scribble Jam back in the day, all type of shit. Was it was on the Revolutionary Volume 1 when he says, yeah, I don't mind doing shit for the love, but don't let me find out that I'm paying your light bills and then you telling me to do it for the love. Because without me, you ain't nothing but a good idea. So I should get my cut. You know what I'm saying? If you getting paid, then I should get paid. If you asking me to do it for the love, then you should do it for the love. You get what I'm saying? But yeah, man. I just, I just, I feel like they should show what he say, without me you ain't nothing but a good idea. You know what I'm saying? That's basically my point. You know what I'm saying? You ain't nothing but a good idea. Without the battle rappers, they made you. That's what he was saying in that skit. Technique, you know what I mean? And that's my opinion. That's my humble opinion, that you should show more love and give these dudes, like, let them do what they want to do and do what they need to do, because your product is nothing without them. You're not gonna get up there and battle. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bruh. You need the battlers. These and now and then he's like, yo, these people can void their contract whenever, but then you're basically, by voiding your contract, you be blackballing yourself from any URL stage ever again, or retiring from battle rap. One or the other. You know what I'm saying? So it just, and Adept was right. Why does it have to be that way? You know what I'm saying? Why? Why does it have to be that way? You know what I mean? I don't know. I just think, and if you are gonna sign these dudes to these exclusivity deals, like, don't do them like Gunpowder Pat, you know what I'm saying, and have this dude just shelved for like years. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Like, these dudes that sign these contracts want to be here. Don't take so much advantage of them. At least put them on some sort of fucking battle, some sort of cards, Born Legacy, something. You know what I mean? Like, do some more band. Like, do something. You know what I mean? Like, don't be shelving these dudes, because then they can't do shit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, bro. At least they can't do anything on any bigger platform. You know what I mean? But I just think you're better off building your own brand from the ground up, putting in the footwork and the legwork, rather than signing a contract with URL and hoping that they do that for you, because they're not doing it for a lot of them. They are with some, but they're not doing it for a lot of these dudes. You know what I'm saying? Battle on the small leagues. Then go battle on RBE, battle on King of the Dot. If you get to the status of a Geechee Gotti then wasn't the Geechee Gotti of now, but he had a status. So did Rum Nitty. But if you remember right, they didn't fuck with Rum Nitty for a long time at all. They didn't fuck with him until he did an interview on Angry Fan, and Angry Fan said something about the shit. You know what I mean? And it's funny how after that they came and snatched him up. But Rum Nitty, best believe he could still go wherever the fuck he want. He just gets love there. You know what I mean? But it's because he built himself up, like a Hollow did on Grind Time. You know what I'm saying? Like a Conceited did already, like an Arsenal did. So they don't have to sign an exclusivity deal, because Smack is like, yo, these the biggest battle rappers in the world. I want to rock with them regardless, because to be called the Ultimate Rap League, we got to have these dudes. You know what I'm saying? We got to have the biggest names and the biggest battlers. So they have to fuck with them. They have to compromise, or, like, come to some compromisation. You know what I'm saying? It's always uncompromised media, first of all. But what I'm trying to say is they have to come to some even ground and do business with them from a fucking honest standpoint. Otherwise, they won't get these dudes. You know what I mean? Those dudes don't have to sign exclusivity deals. So build yourself up, battle on KOTD, RBE, and then they have to rock with you no matter what, like an Ill Will, like I said before. But that's just my thoughts on it, man. It was a dope interview. You know what I'm saying? It was Crucial Thirteen's birthday. That was dope. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you already know what time it is, man. I ain't woke, I'm up, bitch. 100. It's your boy Brick Street Sprite. Like, subscribe, comment. Brick Street Hooligans, Brick Street Media, Hooli Vision, and I'm out of here.